Who is the man feared all over India, the name that sends shivers down the spine of many? This is no ordinary tale. It's the story of Lawrence Bishnoi, a notorious gangster whose name is synonymous with fear across the subcontinent. Born in the arid landscapes of Rajasthan, a state known for its majestic palaces and vibrant culture, Bishnoi's life took a path starkly contrasting the beauty of his birthplace. His early life was like that of any other child, marked by innocence and dreams. But destiny had other plans, and soon the innocent boy from Rajasthan was to be feared as one of India's most notorious gangsters. This transformation was not overnight. It was a gradual descent into the world of crime, fueled by circumstances, choices, and a fierce determination to rise above the ordinary. His name, once just a common one among the millions in India, soon became a symbol of terror, a moniker that induced cold dread in the hearts of people. Lawrence Bishnoi wasn't just a man, he was an idea, a manifestation of fear that gripped the nation. His reputation preceded him, painting a picture of a ruthless criminal who ruled with an iron hand. He was the embodiment of the dark underbelly of society, the stark contrast to the bustling, vibrant image of India. His story isn't just about crime and fear, it's about a man's journey from an ordinary life to one marked by power, fear, and notoriety. It's a tale that echoes the complexities of human nature and the consequences of our choices. So who is Lawrence Bishnoi? He is the man who walked the path less taken, the path that led him to become a symbol of terror. He is the man who, with his deeds, instilled fear in the hearts of millions. He is the man who, despite his notorious reputation, has carved a niche for himself in the annals of Indian crime history. This is the story of Lawrence Bishnoi, the man who became a symbol of terror in India. How does a man become a gangster? What drives him to a life of crime? The tale of Lawrence Bishnoi, a name that instills fear across India, is as fascinating as it is chilling. Born into a well-respected family, Bishnoi's life took an unexpected turn, leading him into a world of crime that few dare to tread. Bishnoi was not a born criminal. He was a student, pursuing a degree in law. He had dreams, aspirations, a life planned ahead. But fate had other plans. His life took a drastic turn when he fell head over heels in love. This wasn't just any love story. It was a love story that would set the stage for one of India's most notorious gangsters. His girlfriend, a beacon of light in his life, was his world. But when she was mistreated by a group of men, Bishnoi's world came crashing down. He sought justice, but when the system failed him, he took matters into his own hands. This was the first step into the world of crime, a step taken not out of desire, but desperation. Once he crossed that line, there was no turning back. Bishnoi began to build a reputation of fear and power. He was no longer just Lawrence, the law student. He was now Lawrence Bishnoi, the gangster. His actions were fueled by a sense of injustice and the need to protect those he loved. He saw himself as a vigilante, a protector of the weak. But the world saw him as a criminal, a menace to society. His life was no longer his own. He was now a puppet in the hands of crime. Bishnoi's story is a testament to the power of circumstances and the choices one makes. His journey into the underworld was not planned. It was a result of the events in his life. A tragic love story, a failed system, and a desperate need for justice were the triggers that pushed Bishnoi into the world of crime. A love story turned sour was the catalyst that sparked Bishnoi's descent into the underworld. Once Bishnoi stepped into the world of crime, there was no looking back. A world once unfamiliar became his playground, his kingdom, his dominion. His name, Lawrence Bishnoi, became synonymous with power, fear, and an iron-fisted rule in the underworld. Bishnoi's criminal activities were as varied as they were ruthless. From extortion to kidnapping and even murder, there was no line he wouldn't cross. His audacity knew no bounds. His daring acts of violence and intimidation were not just about the acquisition of wealth, but a clear and undeniable demonstration of his power. Bishnoi's rise to power was as swift as it was terrifying. He established his reign in the underworld with an iron fist, ruling with a mix of fear and respect. His dominance in the criminal world was not a product of chance, but a well-calculated strategy. His operations were methodical, his network vast, his reach far and wide. Not just his foes, but even his allies treaded lightly around him. He commanded a level of respect, or perhaps fear, that was unparalleled. His reputation preceded him, and his mere presence was enough to silence the loudest of rooms. His influence was not limited to the murky waters of the underworld. The tremors of his actions were felt in the highest echelons of power. He became a force to reckon with, a ghost that haunted the nightmares of the powerful. His name, whispered with dread and reverence, echoed in the darkest corners, the most secretive gatherings, and the most hushed conversations. Bishnoi's reign in the underworld was not just about his criminal activities. It was about the fear he instilled, the power he wielded, and the respect he commanded. He was not just a criminal, he was a king in his world, ruling with an iron fist, leaving a trail of fear wherever he went. Bishnoi's name became a terrifying whisper in the dark corners of India. His reign was not just a chapter in the history of crime in India, but a saga of power, fear, and relentless ambition. Every reign has its end, so did Bishnoi's. Just as the sun sets after its peak, Lawrence Bishnoi's reign of terror began to wane. His actions, once cloaked in the shadows, were now under the harsh spotlight of the law. His reputation, while still formidable, was no longer enough to keep him hidden from the relentless pursuit of justice. For all his cunning and strategic maneuvering, Bishnoi was finally ensnared by the unyielding grip of the law. His downfall wasn't marked by a grand showdown, but by a series of events that gradually chipped away at his empire. The first blow came when several of his most trusted accomplices were apprehended. Their arrests led to a domino effect, pushing Bishnoi further into a corner. His final arrest was the culmination of meticulous planning by the authorities. Bishnoi, who had evaded capture for so long, was finally under lock and key. The notorious gangster, once feared throughout the country, was now confined within the four walls of a cell. The aftermath of his arrest sent shockwaves throughout the underworld. His absence created a power vacuum, leading to a scramble among those left in his wake. But the most significant impact was felt by the people who had lived under the shadow of his terror. For them, Bishnoi's arrest was a sigh of relief, a beacon of hope that even the most hardened criminals could be brought to justice. However, the story doesn't end with Bishnoi's arrest. His trial was a spectacle, attracting attention from all corners of the country. Each development in the courtroom was followed with bated breath, as the nation collectively held its breath, waiting to see if justice would truly be served. The tale of Lawrence Bishnoi serves as a stark reminder that no matter how invincible one may seem, no one is beyond the reach of the law. His story is a testament to the relentless pursuit of justice, a narrative that underscores the power of the law in the face of fear and intimidation. Even the most feared men can't outrun the long arm of the law. Lawrence Bishnoi may be behind bars, but his legacy of fear lives on. His name, whispered in hushed tones in the underbelly of society, continues to cast a shadow over the nation. His reign, though ended, has left a lasting impact on India, a chilling reminder of the power one man can wield when driven by ambition and vengeance. Imagine a world where fear is palpable, where the mere mention of a name can induce shivers of dread. This was the world of Lawrence Bishnoi. His influence extended far beyond his gang, seeping into the psyche of a nation. Even today, his legacy continues to shape the world of crime in India, an unwelcome testament to his reign of terror. Bishnoi's story is a stark reminder of the dark corners of human nature, of what happens when love is twisted into obsession, when ambition is fueled by vengeance. It's a narrative that has been etched into the collective memory of the nation, a tale that continues to haunt the dreams of many. His name, Lawrence Bishnoi, has become synonymous with fear. His legacy, a chilling testament to the power of fear, lives on in the hearts and minds of those he once ruled. His reign may have ended, but the imprint he left on the world of crime is indelible. His influence, though no longer active, continues to shape the criminal landscape of the nation. Despite his incarceration, his name continues to instill fear, a grim testament to the enduring power of his legacy. His reign of terror, though ended, continues to reverberate through the annals of India's criminal history. His name, his legacy, his story, all serve as chilling reminders of the dark underbelly of society. In conclusion, Bishnoi's legacy is more than just a tale of a notorious gangster. It's a stark reminder of the power of fear, of the lasting impact one man's actions can have on a nation. Lawrence Bishnoi, a name that will forever echo in the annals of India's criminal history.